Hey guys, it's Kristen from A Mindful Mom. Today I'm sharing with you an easy Instant Pot recipe. This recipe is for Instant Pot pork chops and you are going to love it. It's made in less than 30 minutes from start to finish. It's completely from scratch and the pork is perfectly flavored. It's juicy, it's tender, and it's smothered in a creamy homemade mushroom gravy. I know that you guys are going to love this recipe. So let's get started. First, we want to heat our Instant Pot. You want to turn it to saute and add in half a tablespoon of olive oil and let that heat. You'll know it's ready when your Instant Pot reads hot. I went ahead and preheated before we started here. Then we want to talk about our pork chops. I have 1-inch thick, boneless, center cut pork chops. You want to make sure your pork chops are between 3/4 of an inch and 1 1/4 inch thick. That will make these pork chops stay juicy and remain tender even when pressure cooked. A great money-saving tip for pork loin chops is to take a pork roast, a boneless pork roast, and ask your butcher to slice it for you. They often do this for free and they're happy to do it for you as well. Just ask them to cut your pork roast into 1-inch thick chops. That way you know that you have the perfect size for Instant Pot pork chops. Plus, it's often a lot cheaper than buying pre-cut pork chops. You want to season your pork chops well on both sides. I'm just going to use some kosher salt and freshly cracked black pepper. Make sure you season both sides. And then we're going to add our pork chops into our preheated Instant Pot to sear on each side. You want to saute your pork chops until they're good and browned on each side. You can hear the sizzle, sizzle. It'll take about 2 to 3 minutes per side for your pork chops just to get nice and browned and golden. And then to our Instant Pot, we want to add in 1 tablespoon of butter. You can use a tablespoon of olive oil if you want to keep this dairy-free. To our butter, we're going to add in about 1/4 of a cup of finely chopped minced onion. And 8 ounces of sliced bella mushrooms. You want to saute your mushrooms and onions just for about a minute or two until the onions begin to soften. Then you want to turn your Instant Pot off and we want to deglaze the pan. You guys know deglazing the pan is key to preventing yourself from getting an Instant Pot burn warning. So for a 6-quart Instant Pot, we're going to use 1 cup of beef stock. If you have an 8-quart Instant Pot, you want to use 1.5 cups of beef stock. The recipe will remain the same other than the amount of stock that you use. I choose to use beef stock because it's full of rich flavor and it complements the pork well. You can certainly use chicken stock as well. So add your stock in and then you want to scrape up any brown bits on the bottom of your inner pot. This is very important to help prevent any burn notice. Plus, all that brown bits adds a lot of flavor to our sauce. I also want to add in a few more seasonings into my gravy. I'm going to add in a little bit of dried thyme and give it a good pinch when you add it in. That helps to release all the oils of the dried herbs. And then I'm going to add in about a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. I use low sodium Worcestershire sauce and low sodium beef stock to keep the sodium content of this dish in check. And then we're going to nestle our pork into our mushroom mixture. There's lots of drippings here on this plate, and you want to just add those back into your gravy. That is where a lot of flavor is. Okay, to cook our pork chops, you're going to hit manual and adjust plus or minus to 5 minutes. 5 minutes will give your pork enough time to really absorb that mushroom gravy but not drive out. Okay, once pressure has released naturally for 10 minutes, and you can see that here with L010, we want to turn our Instant Pot off and release any remaining pressure. You release remaining pressure by using a wooden spoon, stand away from your vent knob, and hit your vent knob from sealing to venting. It shouldn't take long at all, because at this time, most of the pressure has already released. Okay. Take your lid off, and then you want to remove your pork chops to a clean plate. This is so we can thicken up our gravy. You guys, it smells really good in here. You can smell the mushrooms. It just smells rich, a little bit garlicky. To thicken up our gravy here, we're going to take cornstarch and we're going to mix it with a little bit of water. And you want to mix that really well until it's perfectly combined and the cornstarch has fully dissolved into your water. That way you don't have any lumps in your gravy. If you were to add cornstarch directly to your Instant Pot while your gravy is warm, you would instantly have lumps in your gravy. And so a good tip is to make a cornstarch slurry beforehand. We're going to turn our Instant Pot back to saute, pour in our cornstarch slurry, and whisk well. You just want to whisk your cornstarch slurry into your mushroom gravy just for a couple minutes until it gets bubbly and the gravy has thickened. Okay, our gravy has thickened. Turn our Instant Pot off. That doesn't take long to thicken at all. And you want to serve your pork chops with the mushroom gravy. Delicious over buttered noodles or mashed potatoes, or really just with a salad. You cut into this pork chops, it's super tender. I can almost break it apart with my fork even. You can. The pork is perfectly tender. The mushroom gravy is rich. Just gives these pork chops so much flavor. They remind me of those slow cooked pork chops that have been cooked all day in a rich, creamy gravy. This is done in less than 30 minutes and it's delicious and from scratch. For this easy Instant Pot recipe and for more Instant Pot recipes, be sure to visit amindfulmom.com.